Good afternoon. Good evening. I forgot. It's afternoon here in Las Vegas, but it's evening back in Baton Rouge. Welcome to Sports Line Radio. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'm broadcasting live from Las Vegas, Nevada, the sports and gaming capital of the United States of America. And you are listening to this program right here on 910 AM WBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. You can also listen live to the program at PelicanSportsTV.com. That's PelicanSportsTV.com, or you can download the Pelican Sports TV app, the phone app. I got an iPhone, I got that iOS, whatever the heck that thing's called, and got the app right on the phone. Anytime I want to find out anything about the LSU Tigers from Buddy Sanji or Jody Holberg or TK, all I got to do is hit the button on the phone and boom, I get all the information I need. So, yep, I'm glad to be here and glad to have you there as each Friday we come on the radio. We talk gambling, Cap. I mean, that's what it's all about. We're going to talk gambling and point spreads. We're not going to try to hide at anything. We ain't got nothing to hide. I'm a proud gambler. I'm proud. I'm proud that I'm going to have money on the games on the weekend. I'm not embarrassed about that. I'm not embarrassed about that at all. I mean, look, now, if you got a problem with gambling, that's one thing. My only problem is it's tough. That's my only problem. I wish it was a lot easier, but if it was a lot easier, instead of betting 11 to win 10, you'd have to bet 12 to win 10, or 13 to win 10. They just keep upping the juice until, let's say the public average, winning 55% of their games. Well, when you went to go make a bet, you'd have to lay 17 to win 10 on both sides. So, the house can, they can adjust the spread, the number, to where it's tough for you to beat the juice, but that just goes to show you how hard it is to pick football games against the spread, because, heck, you only got to bet 11 to the bookies 10. You only got to hit 52.4% of your games to break even. And believe me, there's not many people that can do it. They got people that'll get the job done, but it really don't count unless you got some money on it. That's kind of the rules out here. If you ain't got no money on it, it really don't count. And, that's one of the things like for the super contest, over there at the Westgate. I used to play in the thing. I was the first .com ever to play in a super contest. I played in a super contest one year. There was 191 people. 191. That's how few people were in the contest. Now there's thousands. I don't want to play in a contest against thousands of people. And then what they'll do is, let's say when the contest card comes out, Carolina's playing, we're just going to make up a team. They're playing San Francisco. And the Panthers and the Niners are going to go at it, and the Panthers on the card are a 9-point favorite. But up on the board, because some money came in on Carolina, now the spread's 10.5. So you got a lot of people that are in the contest. They're just going to take Carolina minus the 9.5 because they get a 1.5 differential from what's on the actual betting board at the current time. Well, that's not handicapping. That don't have nothing to do with handicapping. You're not handicapping nothing when you do that. All you're doing is betting a number. I only got to lay 9.5. In the real world, it's 11. Hey, all right, good. If it lands on 10, I'm in good shape because I'm getting 9.5. I'm only laying 9.5. I should be laying 11, and I don't want to play against that. If they can come up with a contest where you got to bet the current line at the current time that you turn your plays in, I'll play that. But to me, man, I don't want to play in these contests anymore. But they got too many stale numbers. You got too many games where the spread's 3 or 2.5 or 3.5. And any difference between what's on the board and the card from the contest, these guys just bet it. Let's say the spread on the board, once again, Dallas is playing New York, the Giants and the Cowboys. The spread on the board is 3. But let's say on the card it's 2.5 or 3.5. A lot of people are going, man, a lot of games land on 3. I'm just going to automatically take the favorite here and lay to 2.5 because on the board it's 3. Well, man, that's not handicapping. That's picking the best number on the card. And then you go, well, did you bet any of these games? And you go, no, I didn't bet any of the games because I can't get these lines. I couldn't get Dallas minus 2.5. It's 3 everywhere. I couldn't get Carolina minus 9.5. It's 11 everywhere. So they got a problem with the contests out here in Las Vegas that they need to fix. They got to fix these problems because you got a lot of people that will never play. Will never play. I mean, you got guys being crowned world champion because they took a team plus 7 when the game was a picket. I mean, let's say a quarterback's out. You don't know what's going to happen. Let's say hypothetical, the one more hypothetical situation. Let's say the Green Bay Packers are playing the New Orleans Saints. And they're playing in the Superdome, and the Saints are a 3-point favorite. So the card comes out, Saints minus 3, and all of a sudden, we find Aaron Rodgers ain't playing. We find out he ain't playing. And the spread goes from 3 to 8. Well, everybody in the contest is going to take the Saints minus 3 on the card. And then nobody's going to take Green Bay. Because how are you going to take Green Bay plus 3 when Aaron Rodgers isn't going to play and the line's 8? They got to fix these problems, man. If there's a quarterback problem during the week, don't put the game on the card. Or put it on the card later. Say, hey, we're not going to put this game on the card until later. Because what happens is, once again, you got 5 picks from these guys with all the wrong numbers. All the wrong point spreads. Everything's wrong. Everything's off. So I don't want to play in that. You know, I'm not making excuses or nothing like that. Like I said, I've been playing in these contests out in Las Vegas before anybody even knew what the Super Contest was. They ain't even knew, anybody even know what the Super Contest was when I first came out here to Las Vegas. People would thought I was nuts. They go, where you going, MeatMan? I'm going to Las Vegas. To do what? I'm going to sign up for the World Championship of Pro Football Handicapping, called a Super Contest. And people would just look at you like, really? That's what you're going to do this weekend? Really? That's impressive, man. Wow. I was going to make a ride out to the Gulf Coast or something like that. You're going to sign up for the World Championship of Pro Football Handicapping. That's right. I mean, look, I've been in the Super Contest since, openmeatandpotatoes.com, 1998. So I guess 96 or 97 was my first year in the Super Contest. Ain't anybody even heard of the Super Contest? MeatMan was playing. Like I said, I was the first .com. I signed up as meatandpotatoes.com in 1998. And I'll never forget, the guy took his pen and he scratched out the .com. And he said, we'll have none of that. The following year, I did the same thing. I had a lady, and she let it go through. Man. I was the first one. They wrote an article about me. The first .com service to play in the Super Contest. So, once again, I'd like to play in it. They got a smaller contest here in town at the Golden Nugget, but you only play for 8 weeks, and you got college football totals and a lot of stale lines in this thing, and then after the 8 weeks, you go head-to-head in a format on the radio, and I mean, my God, it couldn't be any more complicated. But they won't have a lot of people in it, which is why I might think about joining it, but I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but all right, so let's go ahead, and we'll get the program started today. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, we got 12, 13 preseason games in the NFL. We got 1 tonight, 9 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, a Sunday night football game, the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Chargers. You got to get used to saying it, Cap. The Los Angeles Chargers. They're not the San Diego Chargers anymore. They're now the Los Angeles Chargers and the New Orleans Saints. The Hootatters, the Bless You Boys, the Black and Gold of the Chains. And then, of course, we got a Monday night football game. So we're in full throttle here, Cap. We're in full throttle here because we got games on Thursday, last night, tonight, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then we're going to have football games, college football games, real college football games. That following Saturday. And then we got a big slab of football games on that Thursday, the following Thursday, and then the Friday, and then you got the whole weekend, and you got Labor Day, this college football, and then boom, 3 days later, we got that Thursday night NFL game as the New England Patriots are going to play host to the Kansas City Chiefs. So, I mean, it's here, brother. It's here, Cap, and so let me go ahead and read the disclaimer here. Because the last thing we want to do is get in trouble. Last thing we're looking to do is have any kind of trouble from anybody. So here we go. Everybody ready? The following information is to be used as news material only. Don't do anything on news material with what we're going to talk about today here on Sportsline. Don't go out there and do anything on news materially. Let's see who this is calling me on the phone. Wow, look at this. Hold on, it's somebody for the free picks. Can you hear me, Cap? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, look, I'm in the middle of doing my radio show. I'm going to call you during the break, all right?
I'm not going to be available in too long. I was asking if I could pick for the Patriots and Houston game.
I'll give it to you later, Cap. I got to go. All right, yeah. See, look, I put out these videos all the time, and I give out the toll-free number, the 1-833-MeatMan, 1-833-MEATMAN, 1-833-632-8626, and the phone's been ringing off the hook, Cap. It's been ringing off the hook. I got a huge game going on Saturday that I literally love more than life itself. I'm going to give it to you sometime in the next 15 or 20 minutes. Since they playing tomorrow, there's no rush. There's no rush. We don't have much time left in the first segment here. But remember, anytime you want to get in contact with me, all you got to do is dial 1-833-MEATMAN, 1-833-MEATMAN, and you're going to talk directly with me. I'm going to give you the same games I got my money on. I'm going to give you the same plays that I'm betting myself. That's why I live out here in Las Vegas. I like to gamble. I like to bet. That's why I moved out here. I like to get down on the games, and I like the fact I can do my shopping. I don't have to settle for one line. I mean, there's a lot of advantages if you like to gamble to live out here in Las Vegas. But you ever need to contact the MeatMan, you dial 1-833-MEATMAN, 1-833-MEATMAN. So once again, don't do anything that's not news material. Don't do anything illegal. I reminded everybody that, hey, look, because, it's like, in some places, some things are legal. In some places, it's not legal. I personally, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get how it's perfectly legal to walk into a casino here in Las Vegas and bet on a football game with no problem. Yet, if you bet in Louisiana, you might go to jail. I mean, who knows, man? Anytime you get arrested and put in jail, that's a serious situation, Cap. It's a serious situation. Anytime you find yourselves in handcuffs in the back of a squad car on the way to jail, it's not a good situation. But I ain't got to worry about that out here. I ain't got to worry about it. I got nothing to worry about, man. I can go eat, got my schedule book out, all my bets out. I mean, it's no problem. I've always found that very interesting how in some states you got some laws, in some states you got other laws, and this and that and the other thing. So, all right, man, I'm looking at the clock here, and we got to take a break. We got to take our first commercial break for the day. Now, when we come back, since we didn't do much in the first 15 minutes of the show, I'm going to go immediately to the Week 2 NFL preseason schedule, and I'm going to give you that game my 2017 NFL Pro Football Preseason Game of the Year, brother. My biggest play of the preseason. It's not going to go in week 3. That's when a lot of people say that's the easiest time to handicap because everybody's got the starters in and they're going to play 3 quarters. No. This is the week right here that you want to make the money. I got a play that I literally love more than life itself. And you can love it with me, Cap. All you got to do is sit there and do not touch that dial. You're listening to Sports Line Radio with Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I'm coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're doing it all right here, Cap, on 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Say, can you put an extra minute in the breaks? Can you put an extra minute in there so I can make a phone call? Can you put an extra minute in there so I can make a phone call? Thank you. Hey, this is the Meat Man calling you back. Not too much. You ever called me before? This is your first time. All right, so just out of curiosity, what's your first name so I don't have to call you Hey and Bra and Cap and brother and all that? Andrew. All right, my name's Dave. That's my real name, Dave Scandaliato. I'm going with the Texans. They played Well, I think you ought to put them on the money line and lay $1.30 as opposed to laying 1.5 points minus $1.10. I'm personally going to take them on the money line and I'm going to lay $1.30. But, Houston got crushed by New England in the playoffs last year, something like 34-16, something like that. And, And you were right. Yeah, well, they were down 7-0. At one point, you were down 23.5-0. But they did come storming back. There's no doubt about it. But I do like the Houston Texans. That's my best bet of the week. The Houston Texans. Everybody that's calling me, all I tell them is play the Houston Texans, and I'll talk to you next week. So that's my play. The Houston Texans minus 1.5 or minus $1.30 on the money line. You got it, Andrew. Talk to you later. Yes, sir. All right. And welcome back to Sportsline. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I own a website called meatandpotatoes.com. 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 I opened it back in 1998. 1998. I opened this thing back up. We're celebrating next year. Will be 20 years with me not having a job. 20 years. Can you believe that, Cap? 20 years. The Meat Man hasn't had a job in 20 years. For 20 years, I've been bringing you gambling information. That's what I've been bringing you, Cap. For 20 years, I've been bringing you sports gambling information on the radio. People thought I was nuts when I first started this. I'll never forget, I was talking to a guy, and he was talking to me about advertisers, and he said, I think your show would be better if you talked less gambling and more sports. And I was looking at, I don't think. I mean, this is a good show right here. Look, people want to know the point spreads. People want to know the lines. People need picks, man. Look, my phone rings constantly. Constantly. I just talked to some guy named Andrew. Seemed like a nice kid. I told him, I gave him the game of the year. There's only one game I'm playing all week. There's only one game I'm playing on Saturday. Yeah, they got 9 of them going, but I'm only playing one. I'm going to give it to you in just a second. But you know anybody that likes to bet on sports? You know anybody that likes to bet on football? Make sure you tell them. Every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., right here on 910 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio Baton Rouge. You can also listen live at PelicanSportsTV.com. Not PelicanSports.tv, PelicanSportsTV.com. And, of course, I tape the show. I put it up on YouTube. And you all can always watch the rebroadcast of the program. And, it's been kind of tough. Why would you want to watch it in the past? Because a lot of times I'd pick games for the night of the show. But in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be giving out picks for Saturday and Sunday. So if it doesn't get uploaded to the internet till 9 o'clock at night, because it does take a long time to upload an hour program to YouTube, believe me, all the information on the show is still going to be fresh because all the games are on Saturday or Sunday. And believe me, we are going to get in that no good stinking bookie's wallet. You know that clown? Got that nice house, nice car, good-looking old lady. Kids go to the private school. You know who this bozo is? I don't want any of that stuff. He can keep his stinking kids and his stinking wife and his stinking nice Cadillac and his stinking house. All I want is a safe in his house. I want that big box of money that he keeps all the dough that he makes in. That's what I want. I don't want anything else. I just want his money. And that's where I'm going, Cap, right in his wallet. I'm going right in his wallet, man, and that's why you want to tune in every Friday. Now, look, if you can win sports, win money, betting football, this show's not for you, man. Believe me, because I handicap a totally different way from a lot of people out there. I got my own thing, Cap. I do my own thing. I do my thing, and I do it well. I got to give myself credit. I do it all right. I mean, after 19 years, I'm still here. 19 years. I mean, people, like I said, they thought I was nuts. I used to call myself the spreadologist. I study people who study the point spread. Yep. I study people who study the spread, and that helps me come up with the games that I'm going to take. It's pretty simple. Simple. All right, now speaking of the games here, don't forget, tell your friends, tell your family. Every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, Sportsline, right here on 910 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio in Baton Rouge. All right, now we got one preseason game tonight. One. Uno preseason gamos tonight, though. As the Minnesota Vikings, the Vikings, they're going to go on the road and travel to the Seattle Seahawks right now at Bookmaker, Chris, Bookmaker. You need a place to get down? You need to check out this Bookmaker. If you're not friends with the MeatMan on Facebook, I want you to go to my Facebook page, Dave Scandaliato, and let's be friends. Let's be friends, Cap. Let's be friends, because I put a lot of stuff up on Facebook. I put a lot of information that you're going to want up on Facebook. And one of the things I put on my Facebook page is basically the number one sports book out there, this place called Bookmaker. I've been with them 9 years. 9 years I've been with them. I mean, this place is like a bank. It's like a bank. You never hear any problems, nothing, zero, not a thing, man. You don't hear nothing about Bookmaker. It's like a bank. It's like putting your money in a bank. And I believe me, when I say Dave Scandaliato certified, I mean it, Cap. If you win, I know, absolutely know for a fact, you're going to get paid. So you're looking for a place, check out Bookmaker. Become friends with me on Facebook. I'd like to get to 300 friends by, the middle of next month. I think I got 242. I'd have more friends, but I keep pissing people off. but that's too bad. I figure if I put something on my Facebook page and it pisses you off and you unfriend me on Facebook, we probably weren't friends anyway, Cap. We probably weren't friends anyway. All right, so tonight the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks, the spread's 3.5. The total is 40. The money line, Seattle minus $1.80. Minnesota coming back plus $1.55. I bet the same game last year. This same game last year was my 2016 NFL preseason game of the year. That's right. This was my biggest preseason game of the year last year. And the Minnesota Vikings went into Seattle as a 2.5-point underdog. And they got the victory. Cap. They got the victory 18-11. Now, why did I bet Minnesota? Well, if you remember, it was just a couple of months earlier, back in January, when these two teams had met in a playoff game. They met in the playoff game, and the Vikings got the ball, and they drove it all the way down the field, and it was going to be like a 30-yard field goal. And, this guy was one of the worst kicks I've ever seen in my life. It was a total choke job. And the Seattle Seahawks wound up winning the game 10-9, and they moved on in the playoffs. Well, you figured a couple of months later in the preseason game, just for their own psyche, you figured the Minnesota Vikings wanted to win that preseason game last year, and they did, 18-11. And I remember that game because I made a lot of people a lot of money. Now, as far as tonight, I don't know what to think tonight. Personally, I'm kind of leaning toward the Minnesota Vikings, but it's not an official play. It's just a lean. I'm in lean mode because I like the game tomorrow so much. The last thing I want to do is screw anybody up today, and then come tomorrow, you're scared to make the pick because you bet the money on a play that I said was a lean instead of the play that I'm saying is it's not a lock. There's no such things as locks. You know what I'm saying? A lock, that's the thing you put on your storage shed to make sure somebody don't steal it, or that's the thing you got on your door to make sure nobody comes in. So, there ain't no locks out there. I can tell you that right now, Cap. But believe me, I like to play on Saturday. It's a lot bigger than a lean. I can tell you that right now. If I did have to play tonight, I would probably take the Minnesota Vikings, but the bottom line is I'm going to wait till tomorrow, man. I'm going to wait till mañana, Saturday. That's what I'm going to go for, Cap. And on Saturday, we got 9 games. And the game that I'm looking at, game 419, 420, the New England Patriots and the Houston Texans. Right now at Bookmaker, where the line originates, the Houston Texans are a 1.5-point home favorite. The total is 41. The money line has the Houston Texans. Let's see what we got here. The money line has the Houston Texans minus $1.30, and the New England Patriots coming back plus $1.10. So if you bought 3.5 points to knock it down from 1.5 to 1 to a half to a picket, that costs you 30 cents. So if you did it like that, you'd have to lay $1.40. If you take the money line, you only got to lay $1.30. Remember, there's a lot of close games in preseason because these guys aren't looking to have any ties. So personally, I would like to see everybody play on the money line. I'd rather see you lay $52 to win 40 and just be worried about winning the football game as opposed to laying 44 to win 40 and having to sweat out how much you can, make sure you win by 2. See how that works? I mean, you got to lay a little juice, but, hey, it is what it is, Cap. It is what it is. So, the bottom line, last year in the playoffs, New England and Houston met up. And if you remember correctly, New England came out as a 16.5-point favorite. I mean, they were a huge favorite. Houston got the ball. They rammed it right down New England's throat. 7-0. You got 16.5 points. You're on your way, Cap. You were on your way to losing. You were on your way to losing. It's as simple as that, because the New England Patriots came storming back. They came storming back, Cap, and they wound up winning the ball game 34-16. They won by 18 points, Cap, laying 16.5. They won by 18. They got there. There was no 18s out there. There were no 17s out there. 16s and 16.5s. Yep, but New England got there. And I wouldn't consider this a revenge game. I'm not one of these revenge games kind of guys, but this is kind of a revenge game. Once again, the Houston Texans, they're trying to figure out who their starting quarterback's going to be. So they're going to be playing hard for all 4 quarters. They want to beat New England. They want to beat New England. They remember the game last year. They went over to Foxborough, and they got whooped by 18 points after leading by 7. They got outscored by 25 points the rest of the game. They want to beat New England at home in front of their home crowd on Saturday. The place is going to be packed. It's going to be packed. A lot of preseason games, nobody shows up. When the Patriots show up, when Tom Brady shows up, Bill Belichick, the Gronkowski, they're all going to be there, Cap. Every seat in the stadium is going to be filled. And I think Houston wants to put on a good show. I mean, look, when there's no better time than to have a good game than when they have a full stadium. When everybody's there, Cap, when the crowd is there, when it's full, when the place is at capacity. And I just think you got a little revenge factor here. I think New England's going to have a little hangover, man. They know they got lucky last year to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they got lucky, but you know what I'm talking about. You're down 28-3 midway through the third quarter. You ain't supposed to win those games, Cap. You ain't supposed to win them games, man. That's just how it works. You ain't supposed to win those, but they did. They did. They scored the final 32 points of the game? Something like that. The final 30-some-odd points of the game. It was pretty impressive. I got to admit it. I mean, there's no doubt. They were down 28-3. That's 25. And then the 6 in overtime. So they were down. They outscored them 31-0. The Falcons were outscored 31-0 in the final 20-something minutes of the ball game. I think New England's going to have a hangover, man. I just think they're going to have a hangover. They lost to Jacksonville, the Jaguars last week. New England didn't have a lot of draft picks this year. And their number 1 pick was in the 3rd round, and he's out for the season. He got hurt today. So I don't get Bill Belichick. He ain't worried about this preseason game. This game don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. Now, the last time that the New England Patriots put it on the Houston Texans was back in 2006. They beat them 40-7. 40-7. But the following time that they played, a couple of years later, Houston won 34-27. They remembered getting whooped on TV. I think it was a Sunday night game, if I'm not mistaken, in that 40-7 whooping. So Houston remembers the game. I like Houston either minus a point and a half, at least by the half a point. That way, if they win the game, you at least push. I mean, the last thing you want to do is win the game and lose because they only won by 1 point. So if you don't want to buy all the points, or you don't want to play the money line at $1.30, At least buy it a half a point and lay the $1.20. That way, if you win the game, you get the money. You get to keep your money at least, so you get a push. Man, don't lose, man. Don't lose by half a point, I'm telling you. You will go through life a miserable SOB if you lose a lot of games by half a point, man. I mean, just your whole life, you'll just be miserable. You'll just be miserable your whole life. No, I lost this game by half a point, half a point. I never lose a game by half a point. Everybody laughs at the MeatMan out here in Vegas. Oh, only suckers by half points. Well, I hear you. I do it all the time. Personally, I think it's a good idea. I think sometimes these point spreads are so dead on. Get the extra half a point, even if you got to pay for it. Remember, all you got to do is tie 1 out of every 10 games you would have lost, and you save money. You save money. So for example, the spread's 5.5. I buy it. I get it to 6. They lose by 6. If I'd have had it at 5.5, if I'm betting $110 a game, I lose $110. The other way around, I got to lose 10 games with the juice. I mean, believe me, it works out pretty good. It works out pretty good. Believe me, I wouldn't buy that half a point if it wasn't worth it. The MeatMan would never buy half a point if I didn't think that it was worth it. So, my play to you. I'm 3-0 on the show now. I mean, I got the Cleveland Browns over the New Orleans Saints. I gave it out as a picket. The line closed 3. It was an absolute miracle that the Cleveland Browns covered the spread. I don't even want to put that game in my record. But the other 2 I gave out in the program, the San Francisco 49ers, they won outright, getting 4 points against the Kansas City Chiefs. That was a very good pick that I made. And then I told you take the Pittsburgh Steelers over the New York Giants, and they won the game outright. We didn't even need the stinking points in that game either. So whether you want to call me 2-0 or 3-0, it doesn't matter to me. Take the Houston Texans on Saturday, -1. Buying a half a point, minus $1.20 against the New England Patriots. That's my 2017 NFL Pro Football Preseason game of the year. All right, I've got to take another commercial break. Got to take one more commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to go over the point spreads for the other 8 NFL preseason games being played on Saturday. I'll also go over the point spread on Sunday's 2 NFL games, including the matchup between the Hootatters, the Bless You Boys, the black and gold with the chains, the New Orleans Saints, playing the San Diego Chargers. Of course, we got a Monday Night Football game as well, man. It's here, Cap. Even if you don't like preseason, that's too bad because they're going to have football on just about every night for the next couple of weeks. Before it did on every night. I mean, right now it's going to be on about half the nights, but, man, the wait is finally over. Don't touch that down, Cap. A lot more sports lines still to come. You're listening to this program on 910 AM WBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. I gotta go get me some water. I'll be right back. Yes, sir. All right. And welcome back to Sportsline. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'm broadcasting live, as I do every Friday, from Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City, right here on 910 AM WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. That's right, Las Vegas. That's where you can bet sports, man. That's where you can go to the window and make your bet. You can make your bet. You don't have to deal with the bookie. You ain't got to deal with the local guy. You go in a casino, you make your bet, you watch the game, they give you a few drink tickets, yada, 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 yada. I tell you, it's pretty easy. Pretty easy the way they got it set up. It's kind of hard to believe that other states don't have it, but I can tell you right now, there's a lot of states that would love to have legalized sports wagering. New Jersey, they're trying to lead the charge here. They're trying to lead the charge. But once the dam bursts, it's over with. It's over with. Once it starts to go, it's just going to go, man. It's going to go kind of like this recreational marijuana stuff. You saw how they got it all legalized with the medical marijuana. They got it in a bunch of states, and then all of a sudden they were doing it. And I think like 10 states now have recreational marijuana. Well, let me tell you something. If you would have asked the MeatMan what was going to come first, legalize weed in 10 states or legalize sports betting, I would have said legalize sports betting. I would have said that in a heartbeat, but I was wrong. It was cannabis, marijuana. So I think if you can have states selling weed to people, I just can't see how betting on a football game can't be that far behind. I mean, it's like free money. It's like free money. I mean, all these bookies making all this money. And the bookies, they're not worried about it because the bookie lets you bet on credit. Where legalized sports wagering, you actually have to have the money to make the bet. You actually have to go to the window. You can't give them your credit card. You can't give them an IOU. You got to give them cash money. They give you a ticket. If the ticket wins, you go back and get your money. If not, you throw in the garbage. With a bookie, he lets you bet with money you ain't got. That's why I always tell people, look, man, if you ought to have an account at Bookmaker or Chris. If you need any information about it, give me a call. Because betting with money you ain't got, that's never a good idea. It's never a good idea. Everybody's gotten in trouble doing that in the past, including the MeatMan. When I was a young turd burglar, no doubt about it, the MeatMan had his struggles. When I was young, no doubt about it, the bookie was letting me bet whatever I wanted, and it was ugly, Cap. It got really ugly. I'm just going to leave it right there. But I learned, don't bet what you don't have. Don't worry about that no good stinking bookie. Just move on to Las Vegas and make your bets there. Or play at Bookmaker, where the line originates. I mean, hell, if Bookmaker went out of business, who would set the point spread? I tell people all the time, they don't set the point spread out here in Las Vegas. Now, here's why. The South Point. It's an independent hotel out here in Las Vegas. And they set the line on the BYU Cougar LSU Tiger game at 8. 8 points. And it sat there at 8, and in Bookmaker, Chris, they put out their line 13.5. Well, guess who? Guess who gave in? Did Bookmaker, Chris, did they go down to the 8 at the South Point, or you think the 8 at the South Point went up to 13? Right, the 8 at the South Point went up to 13. Bookmaker would never change their lines. I mean, they got the best odds maker in the world over there. That's why the line originates at Bookmaker. They take the biggest limits, and they never cut anybody off. I've been doing this for almost 2 decades, and I've never heard of any player ever being thrown out of Chris or Bookmaker. Never, ever. That's almost mind-boggling. But, all right, let's see. On a Saturday, we got the 9 NFL preseason games. I gave you the one play already, the Houston Texans. Minus the 1 point, minus $1.20. As the MeatMan's looking to make it 4 in a row. here on the program in preseason football. You got the Tennessee Titans playing host to the Carolina Panthers. Titans 3.5, the total 40.5. Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati opened a 2-point favorite, but not Kansas City's a 2.5-point favorite. The total on the game is 40. The Dallas Cowboys and the Indianapolis Colts, 5.5. The Cowboys at home, the total 39. The Detroit Lions and the New York Jets, the Lions a 5.5-point home favorite, the total 38. The Washington Redskins, the Green Bay Packers, Washington 33.5. The total 39. The next game, the Houston Texans play host to the New England Patriots. Bookmakers got them 1.5 and 41. The Denver Broncos and the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are 2.5-point favorite. Open 1. Total 39.5. At the Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Rams. Oakland Raiders are 3, the total 39.5. And the final game on a Saturday, the Chicago Bears travel to the Arizona Cardinals. Bookmakers got Arizona 3. The total is 40.5. All right, now we got 2 games on Sunday. You got the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh opened a 2.5-point favorite. Now Atlanta's a 2.5-point favorite. Some places it's a 3. Atlanta Falcons are a 3-point favorite on Sunday after opening up a 2.5-point underdog against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The total is 38.5. The Sunday night game, the San Diego Chargers and the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to have to leave Mass early for this one, Cap. Yep, MeatMan won't be picking up the church at the end of 5 o'clock Mass on Sunday. Nope, I'll be outside checking the parking lot, making sure nobody breaks in the cars. Oh, I got the game on my phone. Oh. So it goes, Cap. We're all sinners. We're all sinners, and somebody's got to check the parking lot, and if some kind of way the Saints game appears on my phone while I'm walking around, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What the MeatMan going to do? What am I going to do, turn the phone off? Come on. What if there's an emergency and somebody needs to get in touch with me? The Los Angeles Chargers are a 3-point favorite against the New Orleans Saints. The total is 43. Bookmaker opened the game. The Los Angeles Chargers a 3-point favorite. The total 43. So they're right on the money with that one. They're right on the money. Now remember, the Saints started the season last year 0-3. And they were staring 0-4 right in the face. They were staring 0-4 right in the face, and then they were going to go into the bye week. And the Saints scored a touchdown. They kicked off to San Diego. San Diego ran a play, fumbled the ball. Saints got it and scored. And then the Saints kicked off again to San Diego. San Diego fumbled the ball again. Saints recovered and they scored. And the Saints wound up beating San Diego. After being beaten for about 56 minutes, the Saints scored 3 straight times to end the football game. And they snatched defeat or victory from the jaws of defeat. Usually they snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. In this case, they snapped victory in the jaws of defeat. But I don't see this being a revenge game. You got to remember, Drew Brees used to play for San Diego, and he always likes to be able to beat his old team. That's why I don't, the revenge factor for the last year's game really doesn't come into play because of Drew Brees. That's why I really don't have an opinion on this game. It ain't like that playoff game last year when the Patriots put the 30-some-odd points on the Houston Texans. It's a different situation. This is a different situation. I'm not going to say I'm going to leave the game alone. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing yet. If you want my pick, you know how to get me. 1-833-MeatMan. 1-833-632-8626. 1-833-MEATMAN. I'm the easiest man in the world to find if you're looking for me. I'm one phone call away. 1-833-MEATMAN. All right, we got Monday Night Football. We got Monday Night Football. We had Sunday Night Football. We got Saturday football. We got Friday football, a game tonight. We had a game last night. We got 4 college games next Saturday. And that following Thursday, we got college football. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Labor Day, college football. Then on that Thursday, the NFL starts. And we got football Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I mean, it's here, Cap. It's here. Monday Night Football. The Cleveland Browns at home against the New York Football Giants. I guess if you're going to put the Cleveland Browns on Monday Night Football, week 2 of the preseason is the way to go, right? Might as well. Might as well. I mean, if you're going to put the Cleveland Browns on the Monday Night Football schedule, this is a pretty good spot to do it. If you ask the MeatMan. Yep. Cleveland actually opened the favorite in the game at Bookmaker. Cleveland was a 1.5-point favorite with the total set at 40. And now the Giants are a 1-point favorite, a 2.5-point swing. And Bookmaker Chris has the total at 39. Personally, I love it. I personally love it when the odds makers open one team the favorite and the gamblers push the line to make the other team the favorite. I love betting against that. I love fading that play right there. That's why I'm kind of hoping when I get up on Saturday, maybe New England will be a favorite by a point. I love when the public flip-flops the favorite. I love it. I love it. Now, last night, the flip-flop on the favorite was Jacksonville and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was the underdog, but they closed the favorite. Jacksonville, they lost that game last night because they got an idiot for a head coach and a double idiot for offensive coordinator. If you had Tampa on Bay last night, you ought to get down on your hands and knees and thank the Lord above that you won that game last night. I mean, not that I want to relive it, but it's 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. You run the ball 9 yards. It's 2nd and 1 from the 2-yard line. And you throw 3 straight passes? You don't run the ball once. You got to pick up 1 yard to get a first down, 2 yards to get a touchdown. The guy just ran for 9 yards on the first play, and you don't do nothing. Wow. Wow. To me, that's a wower, Cap. I believe I'm still befuddled by that last night, but I'm not worried about it because all I'm worried about is that game on Saturday. The Houston Texans. The Houston Texans I literally love more than life itself, man. I love it more than life itself. All right, one last thing I want to talk to you about before I leave. A lot of money is coming in on Conor McGregor. I mean, a lot of money. A lot of money. So much money has come in on Conor McGregor in his fight against Floyd Mayweather Jr. that Mayweather is now down to under a minus $5 favorite. I mean, Mayweather opened big. Mayweather opened up pretty big, but right now you can get down at Bookmaker Chris, where you got the let's see what we got here. Let's see, I gotta find it real fast. Got it right here. Floyd Mayweather Jr. minus 470. You only got to bet $470 to win 100 on Floyd Mayweather. And the reason I say only, because it was double that not too long ago. Conor McGregor plus 350. plus 350. All the money is coming in on Conor McGregor. 85% of the money's on McGregor. 90% of the tickets written are on McGregor. They're going to take in more money on this fight than they do on a Super Bowl here in Nevada. That's how big this thing is going to be. We're going to talk a lot about it next week. Next Friday, we'll have preseason NFL. We'll have the fight, Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather Jr. We got 4 college football games, real college football games, next Friday when we talk. We need other stuff. We got baseball. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we're going to have to go over next week. So don't forget, every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, 9, 10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. We do a show called Sportsline. It's dedicated to gambling, and especially once football season starts, man, this is going to be a great program. You're going to want to listen in every week, because we're going to get that money, Cap. I mean, look, we're going to give out widely available lines. We're going to give out good picks. I'm not going to hold any of the good stuff back, and we're going to see how much money we can get in that no good, dirty, stinking bookie. So, man, am I looking forward to next week. Man, I'm looking forward to next week. So, with that said, I want to thank my man Don back in the studio. My job's real easy when nothing goes wrong, man. All I got to do is run my mouth and talk, and I'm pretty good at it. Obviously, I want to thank my man TK, Tommy Chrysan, for getting me the spot here. And, of course, I always want to thank Alan, the owner of Pelican Sports TV, for giving me the opportunity to do this program. Now, don't forget, man, bet with your head and not over it. Money management is the key when you're betting on sports. My name, as always, is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'll see you in 167 hours right here on Sportsline. All right. The weekend plans? What are we doing for the weekend here? Hanging out at the house? All right. All right. That sounds very good. Sounds like a lot of fun. Keep you entertained. You're around your family. Fixing their computers. That's the only problem with knowing how to fix your computer is there's a lot of people that don't know how to fix them, and you can't tell them because once you tell them, and once you fix it one time, it's over with. But it's your mother and your brother, so it doesn't count. Right. I got that. That's a good thing to have. All right. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks, Don. All right. That is going to wrap it up for this edition of Sportsline Radio. Don't forget, every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, 9, 10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. You can also listen live at PelicanSportsTV.com, PelicanSportsTV.com. You can always download their app, and right there on the smartphone, the iPad, you can listen live to the show. So don't forget, you can call me toll-free 24/7, 365 at 1-833-MEATMAN, 1-833-632-8626. 1-833-MEATMAN. I want to thank everybody who tuned into the show today, everybody who watched the rebroadcast, and I'll see you in 167 hours, Cap, right here on Sportsline Radio.